And in my 9th grade PLC, I walked us through this, but I was a little fast about it, and so I wanted to slow it down a bit. And in Infinite Campus, if you click on the top right on your menu bar, yes, and then go over to SLDS on the left, and it'll take a while to load, and you will get to your SLDS page. And then once it loads, you want to scroll down to your benchmark data and click on the red section of your classroom data. So it does take a while to load. Super. So if we can scroll down to the English milestones. Okay. So maybe let's do American literature, and if you, well, you don't have any red. It's okay. Let's go ahead and let's just click on the red for the school. Is it gonna open? Do you have another milestones that you give? Maybe literature and composition, classroom, the 3%. Super. Now this is going to give you your students who are on the beginning level, and this is how I built my initial bottom 25% caseload. And so just looking at this one student, you can tell whether they passed specifically your 9th grade literature comp class. And then I made a list. I had a list of about 21 students, and I made a list of those students. So starting with my students in the beginning level of the milestones is how I built my caseload. The second aspect I looked at was Star 360. So if we can open a new tab and go to hosted 85.renlearn.com, and the last digits are /48585 slash.
Is that right?
Need
Yes,
an N.
one more slash.
Need an N behind the RE.
Oops, for red.
Okay.
And enter. Super, and then I'm a teacher. It should be your username and your username and the password is generic for the school.
Do we need to do that at Rockdale?
No, just first initial, last name, and the password should be HHS teacher. So once we get in here, you want to click on the reading assessment. It's going to open up a box. You want to go to screening, progress, monitoring, and intervention. And then in here, you want to go to screening status, all classes. Let me make sure that's correct.
I don't have any 9th or 10th.
You don't have any 9th or 10th.
So maybe it looks different then?
It does look different. You should have some classes that come up here, and then you want to click on preview.
I can pick somebody.
Sure. If you can find myself, there's a Hinds.
Okay.
I guess it's not going to come up for you. But it's giving us the winter dates, the next screening dates. Try the progress monitoring. And just do search all classes. Yes, and click on one of my classes. Essentially, we're going to pull the Lexile scores for our bottom 25 students. See, when we go through the screening status, is anyone able to get through to the screening status? You want to select one of your classes and then click preview and generate a report. If you go to screening status, yes.
I was just admiring someone's name.
The last one.
Princess Leia. Star Wars reference.
And so once you generate the report through Star 360, it'll give you all the Lexiles of the students and tell you what percentile they rank in. And so I'm just adding this to my beginning learners from the milestones. So the last thing we're going to look at is Achieve 3000, and that works best in Firefox. So if we can open Firefox and go to Achieve 3000. And one thing I did notice with this data is that the Lexels in Star 360 are not quite matching up with the Lexels in Achieve 3000. Nor are the Achieve 3000 Lexel scores matching with milestones. So I'm still trying to find a trend, but what is consistent is that if they fall below on milestones, they're falling below on Star 360 and Achieve 3000. The scores are just not similar. So in Achieve 3000, for those of us that are there, and I'll repeat the instructions again in a few, on the left-hand side, you're going to drop down and click on Reports, and you want Performance Reports. So you're going to click your menu option, yes, and then scroll down to Reports and Performance. Now, in your performance report, you want to click on how likely are my students to be on track for college and career readiness. And you can select all classes or one class and go ahead and view your report. And when you click on the plus signs over on the left, it'll open up a menu, and it will give you the Lexel scores and the date and whether that student is falling far below, approaching, meeting, or going above the Lexel, and it gives you that Lexel goal range. So this helps me with my benchmark data, because these students are generally my students who are not scoring well on the benchmark as well, and they are really missing those citing textual evidence, the reading comprehension questions. So I have some data that I'm tracking on these students, and then it does allow me to contact parents, have more informed conversations, and then that differentiation piece in my lesson plan, what I'm doing for these students. And a lot of times, some of the intervention for reading is being utilized through Achieve 3000 because it's giving them their reading on their Lexel. And I'm using that as a grade in the gradebook for, are they able to cite textual evidence? Are they able to answer the reading comprehension questions and the context clues? So I try to make bundles and assign it to them based on their weaknesses in Achieve 3000 and on the benchmark. So that was just my little data presentation that I wanted to go through again, and I'll send Ms. Carvalho the PowerPoint that walks us through the instructions if you wanted to.
Post it on It's Learning.
Oh,
if you want to.
super.
Yeah, you guys can post stuff on our